Most EV charger comparisons are useless. They read like spec sheets written by people who have never actually paid for an install, never had to deal with panel limits, and never had to live with the charger after the first week. So, homeowners end up buying the wrong charger for the wrong reason. Some overpay for features they will never use. Some buy the cheap option and regret the build quality. Some buy a charger that looks smart on paper but quietly creates a worse installation, a worse user experience, or a worse long-term setup. So, in this video, I'm going to cut through all of that. Not the 15 best chargers, not the top 10 chargers, not every charger on the market. Just the only 4 that I think are actually worth your money in 2026, and more importantly, I'll show you why each one is right for a specific type of homeowner. This is Solar Logic. We do homeowner financial defense for EV charging, solar, batteries, and home energy upgrades. Which means I'm not interested in selling you the best charger in abstract. I'm interested in helping you avoid buying the wrong one, because buying the wrong charger doesn't just cost you at checkout. It changes installation, cost, panel pressure, daily convenience, app frustration, long-term reliability, and whether the thing still feels smart 6 months later. Here is the core problem with most charger advice. It overfocuses on peak amperage, app features, Wi-Fi gimmicks, brand reputation, Amazon star ratings, and underfocuses on actual driving needs, installation complexity, thermal design, load management, hardware quality, whether the software is worth the extra failure points. Most people do not need the fastest charger, the most expensive charger, the most app-heavy charger, the charger with the prettiest dashboard. They need the charger that best fits their panel, their daily mileage, their tolerance for tech, their install constraints, and their willingness to pay for long-term quality. That's it. So, the right way to think about chargers is not which charger is best. It's which charger is best for the kind of homeowner I actually am. And once you look at it that way, the market becomes much easier to understand. Because almost every decent beer falls into one of 4 groups. Let's start with the most obvious one. 1. Tesla Universal Wall Connector. This is the default king. If you want the safest answer for build quality, long-term reliability, connector flexibility, and just generally buying something that feels thought through, this is the one. And the reason is not just Tesla brand. The reason is that Tesla clearly engineered this charger with actual thermal margin in mind. The internal wiring is heavier. The thermal path is better. The physical build is more confidence-inspiring. And the integrated Magic Dock solves a future-proofing problem that most other chargers still handle awkwardly. That matters because homeowners don't want to keep thinking about this forever. They want something that gets installed, works, keeps working, and doesn't age into regret. That's what Tesla is selling here. The downside is obvious. You are paying the Apple tax. The unit costs more because the brand is premium, the design is premium, the engineering is premium, and for some people, that's fine. For others, that money is better spent elsewhere. Who should buy it? Buy this if you want the strongest all-around premium answer. You don't want to think too hard. You care about long-term reliability. You want one charger that feels future safe. Who should not? Don't buy it if you are highly price sensitive. You do not care about premium hardware, or your install budget is already stretched thin, because yes, this is probably the best charger overall. But it is not automatically the smartest spend for every beer. 2. Wallbox Pulsar Plus. This is for the smart home architect. This charger matters because it solves a problem that becomes very real very fast. 2. EVS limited panel room load sharing scheduling control, and this is where Wallbox separates itself. Its power sharing logic is actually useful. Not app feature useful, not marketing bullet useful. I mean genuinely useful if you have to EVs in the house, or one constrained circuit, or panel limitations that make load distribution matter. This is the type of charger you buy when you want the charging system to behave like a small part of a larger energy system. That is why I call it the smart home architect's charger. The downside, software complexity. And this is a real downside. Because every time a charger becomes smarter, it also becomes more stateful, more configurable, more annoying, more dependent on firmware and apps and account logic. That means more opportunities for confusion, setup, friction, software weirdness, or just mild long-term annoyance. Some homeowners love that. Others absolutely hate it. Who should buy it? Buy this if you like control, you like settings, you care about load management, you may run multiple chargers, you want your charger to behave like part of a system. Who should not? Don't buy this if you want plug it in and forget it. You hate apps. You don't want another smart device to manage, because then you're buying intelligence you won't enjoy. 3. Emporia EV Charger. This is the walking. If you are the type of beer who says, I want strong functionality and decent internals, but I'm not paying luxury pricing for a garage tool, then Emporia is the one you should look at very hard. This charger wins on value, energy monitoring, practical functionality, and the simple fact that dollar for dollar, it punches way above its weight. This is the unit that embarrasses more expensive competitors. Because once you strip away branding and design theater, a lot of buyers realize they don't need premium industrial sculpture, they need a charger that works, gives useful data, and doesn't destroy the budget. Emporia does that well. The downside, it feels cheaper. Because it is cheaper, the shell is less premium. The cable is less pleasant, it doesn't feel as overbuilt. And that matters to some buyers more than others. If you are the kind of person who wants every object in your house to feel premium and durable in the hand, you may notice the compromise. But if you care more about function, efficiency, cost control, then this charger makes a lot of sense. Who should buy it? Buy this if you are value first, you still want a real charger. Not junk. You like useful monitoring, you want to maximize performance per dollar. Who should not? Don't buy it if tactile build quality matters a lot to you, you hate budget feeling hardware, or you'll regret not buying the nicer thing, because if you already know you're that kind of beer, save yourself the second guessing. 4. Grizzl-E Classic. This is the apocalypse tank. The people who love Grizzl-E are not asking for the cleanest app, the best software, advanced power intelligence, or pretty interface design. They want something dumb, strong, and difficult to kill. And that is exactly where Grizzl-E wins. Its entire philosophy is zero software, zero drama, no Wi-Fi dependency, no cloud nonsense, no clever app layer pretending to be useful while creating failure points. Just charger power, durability done. That simplicity is not primitive. It is a decision, and for some buyers, it is exactly the right one. The downside: no brain, no elegant control layer, no serious monitoring, no real smart home integration, no premium software experience. If you want analytics and automation, this is not your charger. Who should buy it? Buy this if you value ruggedness over software, you live in harsher climates, you hate smart home fragility, you want set it and forget it. Who should not? Don't buy it if you want energy visibility, app control, or a polished digital experience, because this charger is not trying to be smart. It is trying to be hard to kill. Now let's simplify the entire market. Because most buyers don't need more charger names, they need a decision framework. And here it is. Do you trust software or do you trust steel? If you trust software, you are buying control, scheduling, energy visibility, load intelligence, app-dependent convenience. That means your real choices are Wallbox for premium control, Emporia for value first intelligence. If you trust steel, you are buying low drama, less software dependence, fewer moving pieces, stronger set it and forget it psychology. That means your real choices are Tesla for premium engineered polished, Grizzl-E for rugged simplicity. This framework matters because it stops you from buying emotionally. A lot of charger mistakes happen when people think, what's the best one? Instead of, what kind of owner am I, and what kind of system do I actually want to live with? That is the real question. Most people get one of three things wrong when buying a charger. Mistake 1. Buying too much charger, they optimize for peak speed, not actual overnight need. Mistake 2. Buying software they won't use, they get an app-heavy charger and never open the app again after week 1. Mistake 3. Buying purely on price, they buy the cheapest thing available without thinking about install consequences, cable quality, reliability, long-term satisfaction, and that's why this market confuses people. Because the right charger is not about maximum spec. It's about fit, use case, constraints, ownership style. That's the whole game. Here's the short version. If you have the budget and want the strongest all-around answer, buy the Tesla Universal Wall Connector if you want the best smart control system. Buy the Wallbox Pulsar Plus if you want maximum value. Buy the Emporia if you want a rugged hardware brick with no software nonsense. Buy the Grizzl-E Classic. Those are the only 4 I would even bother taking seriously. Everything else is either too compromised to generic, to overpriced to gimmicky, or trying too hard to look smarter than it is. If you want the deeper breakdown, including install logic, wire sizing, hardwire versus plug trade-offs, and the exact homeowner screening tools, that's what the EV Home Charging Blueprint is being built for. If it's ready by the time you're watching this, it'll be below. If not, subscribe, because this channel is becoming the place where homeowners learn how not to get financially and technically steamrolled by the energy industry. See you in the next one.